I thought, you know what? Churches have all kinds of people in them. I should go to
Mm,
my pastor and ask him if he knows an engineer. Sure enough, he knew an
mm,
engineer in our church, and he said, this guy's a good guy. His name was Adam Berger. He'll help you out. And Adam came over to the lab, looked at this prototype and thinking about, he said, I need you to take this thing apart and we need to get it up on a vertical platform. And I said, Adam, if if I take this apart, I can't put it back together. So,
mhm,
I'm screwed. If he said, don't worry about it. I know what they're doing. I can get it back together. He totally
mm,
revamped it, put in some different stuff and got me a working prototype. And he moonlit probably for a year. He'd
mm.
come after work on this prototype, free of charge, just a good guy. And I'll pay him back someday, I hope. But
Mm,
that's what it takes. It takes a community
mhm.
believing in each other to kind of get stuff going. You have to be resourceful. You're forced to be resourceful when you don't have the resources yourself.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to me. The quick point, sorry. I had a conversation with Stephen Graves, who's a U.S. Air National Guard, who's been on active duty, he's a veteran. He was making the point about faith and things along those lines and how much it has had an impact on him, how much he's had to lean on his faith, his Christianity, and so on. And I'm not a religious guy, but what I've seen, which is such an underappreciated aspect of American life, at least in the Midwest, is that is such a central component of our lives. The church community, and people take it very seriously, and it's a place where people want to genuinely help, sincerely help, and see each other grow and prosper. You don't see that on the coasts as much, but
Yeah.
that's a very like a heartland aesthetic and an ethic of,
Yes.
ethical framework, right?
Yes, it very much is. It's funny you mentioned that, that the church, like I said, is composed of all kinds of people with different
Mhm,
specialties. Well, my pastor found out I was a scientist, and she found out that at my previous church, I did a Science in the Bible series. And she said,
mm,
I heard through someone that you did this Science in the Bible series over at your other church. And I said, yeah. And she said, would you do that here? I was like, okay. And I
mhm.
just finished a 5-week series and I'm asked to do it again in January. So it was a big hit.
So
But
cool.
that's
Okay.
but that's what kind of keeps you going, just the reward of knowing you're maybe helping someone else.
Yeah.
That's what keeps, I think, entrepreneurs going.
Paying it forward.
Yes, yes,
It forward. And that's such an underappreciated sentiment in society in general, because it's a very typically transactional life that we lead, and I got to think, for 18 years I worked at Cat, got a nice fat paycheck and all of this kind of luxurious life and all these things. And then for 3 years now, zero paycheck, and it's just sort of similar situation as you, for money out of pocket on prototypes and buying this equipment and trying that out. This doesn't work. Oh, shoot, I got to shelve that. And it's frustrated because I should have known better and all these things. And then, I stumble upon other founders who just were all in the same boat on some level or the other.
yes,
And it's such an underappreciated phenomenon that this is the life. You do pay it forward. You have to show up and help each other out. That's the only way we're going to do this.
yes,
We can't just sort of, yeah, and you have to accept that this is not this glamorous, I think we're also under the tyranny of these glamorous images of $100 billion valuations and so on. Right? Okay, and if you're not that, you don't get taken seriously at some level.
yes.
People look at you like, oh, okay, that must be a nice, cute little science project.